As the movie begins, we see a woman enter the building where her apartment is located. In her house, Maya is in her bathroom taking a pregnancy test while her husband Jamie cooks dinner and cheers on. Maya leaves the bathroom and heads to her husband, who seems a bit wobbly after one too many glasses of wine, and a few minutes later, the alarm rings and they check the pregnancy test for the moment of truth. The two then look at each other with disbelief as they see the result being positive. Jamie hurries to the store downstairs to buy some champagne to celebrate the amazing news, and when he gets out of the supermarket, he encounters some thugs who try to hustle him, but he walks past them, angrily telling them that it was non-alcoholic because his girlfriend was pregnant, and then flips them off. When Jamie gets home, he's overwhelmed by the same angry thugs who hold him down and make him watch as they beat up his wife. And mustering up all her strength, Maya gets up and tries to ward off the men with a knife, and the leader of the men goes up to her and sarcastically asks her to stab him if she can, but unfortunately Maya was unable to do so. Then suddenly, they hear sirens outside and hurry out of their house before they can be caught. A few months later, Jamie's aunt Maeve dies and leaves them a house with a huge garden out in the countryside of Ireland. Jamie and Maya drive out to the estate, watching the luscious green land of the country. When they get there, they're welcomed by Neve, the community, and shown around the house. After they thank her for everything, Neve tells them that it was no problem and explains that her aunt wanted to keep the house in their family. The couple ask Neve if she knew Maeve well, but she tells them that she didn't know her well because Jamie's aunt was a very secretive person. Neve then tells them that she wants to show them something strange and takes them to the back of the house. A door lies in between the wall with a small opening beside it, and Neve tells the couple that Maeve was a believer in the old ways and would put a piece of liver or something as a blood sacrifice for what she called the little people. Jamie thinks she's talking about leprechauns and smiles, saying that it was very Irish, but Neve tells him that they weren't leprechauns exactly, but actually the red caps. Thinking that it was just superstition, Maya asks Neve whether Maeve thought that little people lived in the woods behind the door. Neve tells the couple that Maeve wasn't childless like everyone thought, and she had a husband and a child, but her husband passed away first because of pneumonia, and then her child followed. Maeve blamed herself because she thought it was punishment for turning her back on the old ways, and Neve asked the couple if they would be okay for her to continue the tradition, but they were very uncomfortable in having her there every day, so Maya offers to do it herself. After making them promise to do as they say, Neve leaves, inviting them to come to the pub that night. Once they were alone, the couple starts unpacking and checking out the house, then laying on their bed, happy that they could finally get away from their traumatic past. The next morning, the couple drive out to town to get some supplies, and in the store, Maya makes a call to the maintenance people so they can come and fix the roof that week, but is told that it would take some time. And when they're about to check it out, the market clerk kindly tells them that it was on the house from Maeve's nephew. On their way back, Jamie sees a sign that indicates that there was a man that does maintenance, and the couple go check it out. Maya feels uneasy about the place, and even more so when they're startled by the owner's huge dog. And then, a giant gray-haired man gets out of the trailer and starts glaring at them. Once they finish up with their errands, the couple head to the town's pub, and inside, they're greeted with a warm welcome by the townspeople, offering them free beer and free children's clothes. After lots of drinks and lunch, Neve and a few of the townspeople start speaking to them about the maintenance of the house, but especially the hole on the roof. The couple then tell them that they were lucky enough to find a contractor who could start right away called Wayland. Then suddenly, the pub goes quiet, which confuses the couple, and they ask if there was a problem. The old man, who was also the town's drunk, tells them not to pay attention to the people. Once the crowd dies down, Neve asks Amaya what she left for the little people, and having completely forgotten their promise, they promise Neve that they would do it as soon as they get home. Neve then offers to do it herself, but Maya was adamant about not letting her, explaining what happened to them back in London. Neve is sympathetic about what happened, but tells Maya that it was important for her to follow through on her promise. Outside, the old drunk man walks home with his dog, singing along the way. As he wobbles through the woods, he realizes that he couldn't hear the sound of his dog barking and starts to call out for it. Then suddenly he sees what seems to be the back of a child crying and heads toward it, but when he tries to touch the child, it turns around, making the old man scream in fear. The next morning, the couple wake up startled by the voices that they were hearing downstairs, and Jamie gets a wooden club that he keeps on the side of his bed and starts to head downstairs, but halfway there, he realizes that it was only the people that had tried to fix their house. Daddy Wayland was the owner of the Wayland Construction, which was a small company run by him and his children, Killian, Aisling, and Eon. After introducing himself, he tells them that his company has decided to come to their location, and while his children work in the kitchen, Maya offers some tea, but Daddy Wayland gets upset when she calls him Wayland instead of Daddy. Later, the couple leave the work to the maintenance people and head out to the market. When they finish, they head out to a local church to pay their respects to Jamie's dead aunt, and after the priest shows them the tombstone, he tells them that the stone next to Maeve's was her child's, even though the body was never found. The couple are confused because they'd assumed that the child died of pneumonia, and on their way home, they see Neve on the road and get out of their car to speak to her, and she tells them that the drunk old man from the day before hadn't gone home the night before, and no one had seen him ever since after he left the pub. When they ask to help, Neve tells them that they already had people looking and to just go on ahead. Maya asks her husband to wait for her in the car, and then asks Neve about Maeve's child. Neve explains that Jamie's aunt had made a bargain with the Red Caps to save her husband's life, but then she had to pay a terrible price when they took her child. Maya assumes that it must have been postnatal depression, but Neve angrily tells her that Maeve loved her child and would never hurt it. Saying goodbye to Neve, Maya and Jamie go home and find that the Whalens hadn't done a good job. They'd stolen some of their food and hadn't cleaned up after themselves in the bathroom, and the couple are angered by this, and Jamie goes to the other room to box, a habit which he developed after the incident. That night, Maya goes out to the back and puts a piece of liver on the side of the door like she promised, and as soon as she puts the plate down, the door opens and she gets up to close it, but when she looks back at the plate, the liver was gone. Feeling incredibly terrified, Maya hurries back into the house. In the morning, the Whalens arrive early to continue their work, but Eon, Daddy Whalen's oldest son, accidentally breaks the bathroom window while Maya was right next to it. Now at his wit's end, Jamie tries to fire the family, but Maya calms him down, and when he hears the commotion, Daddy comes around the back and realizing what happened, starts to beat Eon. Maya immediately stops the beating and tells him to never do it again in their house, and angry at her husband for losing his calm, Maya grabs her basket and heads out to the garden. While she's tending to the plants, she hears a dog bark and thinks that it could be Molly, the old man's dog. Thinking of rescuing the dog, Maya opens the door to the woods and heads out. As she walks through the woods trying to find the lost dog, she sees Molly run to her, wiggling its tail happily. While she pets her dog, she wonders where her owner, old man Rory, was, and the dog barks for Maya to follow her, and she assumes that the dog was going to take her to its owner. Following the dog, Maya stumbles upon what looked like a red cap shrine, and giving up on the dog, Maya tries to return home but sees Eon and asks him if he's seen the dog. Seeing that he was sad, Maya asks him if he was okay, and sighing, he tells her that his father hates him because he killed his mom when he was born, and shows her the severe bruises his father had given him. Maya tries to comfort Eon, but growing up without any kindness has made him completely blind to any kind of compassion or affection, and he tries to assault her. Maya screams for help as he throws her down to the ground, and the scene then cuts to when Maya runs back to her yard and closes the door that led to the woods, followed by Molly. She seems very panicked and distressed by whatever it was that she saw out there, and after returning home, she tells Jamie that she has something to show him and takes him into the woods. She takes her husband to the spot Eon attacked her and tells him what happened. Explaining that the little people came out of the woods to help her when she screamed, Jamie finds her story very hard to believe and assumes that it was just pregnancy brain making her imagine things. Although he tries to calm her down, Maya is adamant about what happened, which makes Jamie angry, and he tells her that he was going to the pub and leaves. While he was reading and drinking beer in the pub, Jamie's approached by Killian and Aisling, who are looking for their missing brother Eon. When they start hassling and bothering him, Neve kicks them out of the pub, barring them to never come back again. Back at the house, Maya hears something by the front door and goes to check it out, but gets the shock of her life when she sees a small hand reaching for the handle. A small gremlin-looking creature walks in carrying Eon's severed head in a plastic bag and gifts it to her. And Jamie returns home sufficiently buzzed only to find his wife panicking, and she shows him the plastic bag containing the head, which really startles him, and when they try to think of what to do, the Whalens start knocking at the door asking for answers. Jamie tries to get rid of them by saying that he's calling the police, but the Whalens don't listen. Maya tries to get rid of the head by climbing out the window, not knowing that the kids had used the ladders laying around to climb to the roof, and while making her way down, but Maya is startled by Aisling and drops the bag carrying the head at her feet. And realizing that the only thing that can help them now were the red caps, she runs into the woods. Aisling carries the bag of her father and shows him the content, and Daddy, shocked by what he saw, drops the bag, and enraged by what they thought Jamie and Maya had done, they break through the French door of the house and start destroying their property. While trying to get away from Daddy and Aisling in the living room, Jamie tries to hide in the bedroom but is surprised by Killian carrying a knife. Scared for his life, Jamie starts crying, which makes Killian angry, and he starts beating him up even more. Daddy tortures Jamie for answering answers and doesn't like what he hears when Jamie tells him that it was the Redcaps. Maya returns to the house and meets Aisling at the front door, and suddenly she fears her water breaking and it makes her fall to her knees in pain. The enraged Aisling rushes toward Maya and starts beating her, and up in the bedroom, Killian was getting ready to kill Jamie when he's attacked by one of the Redcaps. They manage to kill it, but others start pursuing them and they hurry out of there, and outside, Aisling is also surrounded by the small Redcaps and stabbed to death while she screams for help. Scared for his life, Killian tries to drive away, leaving his father and his sister behind, but the little person was hiding in the back seat and slits his throat. Killian dies, cradled in his father's arms, as he tells him that he's always been proud of him, and Daddy grabs his shotgun and heads to the back where the Redcaps were eating his dead daughter, while Jamie helped his wife through labor. Fueled by revenge, Daddy shoots Jamie in the arm and tries to shoot Maya in the stomach as revenge, but Molly, the dog Maya had saved, bites his arm, making him drop the shotgun long enough for Maya to reach it, and she shoots him in the face. Jamie spends the whole night helping his wife give birth, and in the morning she finally does, and the two cradle their newborn baby and cry in relief. Days after the incident, Jamie and Maya settle in with their baby, and Jamie has taken it upon himself to fix the house, not wanting to alert the townspeople of what happened. One night, after Maya puts the child down to sleep and heads to the living room, she starts to hear her baby cry and heads to her basket, and she finds it empty. And panicked and sure of who had taken her, Maya heads to the shrine, finding her baby with the Redcaps. She also sees Maeve's daughter, now a very old lady, living with the Redcaps. Maya begs to be taken instead of her child, but the little people refuse, telling her that she's too old, and driven by the urge to save her daughter, Maya kills one of the Redcaps and crushes Maeve's daughter's skull with her bare hands, and once the old woman was dead, the Redcaps kneel in front of Maya. When Jamie returns home from running errands, he finds Maya on their lawn, encircled by the Redcaps as they dance around her, and Maya kneels and Flying Skull spits blood all over her as the little people now declare her as the new Mother Redcap. If you want to watch more creepy horror movie recaps, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. We'll see you next time. Bye.